Okay, I put a few clips together, and I'm going to play this, and I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to play it, and I'm going to pause it. I want to break down what you're seeing going on here because this is social engineering in your face. It's what they've managed to do to the genders in this country globally. They have managed to mess everybody completely up through social engineering. Okay, so and it's so in your face right here how messed up things really are. So I put a few clips together to give you an example. So that's what I'm going to do here. So let's play this and watch up.
Do you feel like you need a man in your life?
No, not at all.
So you don't need masculine energy in your life?
No, I have enough within myself.
Right.
Men are like a dessert.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can have them, but you don't always have to order dessert, you know? You don't need them.
Right.
You just, whenever you feel like, you have some.
Social engineering in your face. The first thing she said, she don't need a man in her life. Men are like dessert. That's right. In other words, to be used. But you don't need them. A man's not needed.
Right. Do you need a man in your life?
Yes. Why you ask me about this? You have good man?
Yes, I need a man, and there is nothing wrong about this.
I know.
Yes, she needs a man.
And for what?
Sex?
And
She needs a man for sex, obviously.
yeah.
For pleasure, I see them like as great entertainment.
Yeah, for pleasure, she sees a man as great entertainment.
Yeah, for my entertainment.
I wonder what would happen if a man would say this about women. I need them for sex and entertainment. Bullying.
The Me Too movement against sexual...
Now, pay attention to what they've done here in this video. This is deliberately done. This is social engineering. Remember, a while I've told people for quite a while now, the social engineering is programming of human beings. It's like taking a pole. And on one side of the pole, you got social engineering, programming, mind rape, directed at women. And on the other side of the pole, it's for men. This is what you're seeing right here. When they put this clip in this video, this is exactly what I've been telling you all along. See what they did to her eyes if it was the other way around?
Bullying.
The Me Too movement against sexual...
Bullying, Me Too movement,
Masculinity.
masculinity.
It's okay.
Yeah?
I understand it. Yeah, it's natural. It's not dirty.
See, and it wasn't her that made the statement that it was the other way around for a man. But you see how they threw that in your face with the eyeballs and she's not the one that done that. It's the people who put this video together. That is social engineering. That is division right in your face.
Do you need a man in your life?
Need. Strong word, that. Need.
Strong word.
Need.
I wonder how that would look like.
Yep, see, there you go. Here we go. Using words again, need. I wonder how that would look like.
I don't know if I need, I love to have a man. I love having men around. A few, if possible.
Do you need men in your life?
Yes, of course.
Why?
I both love them and hate them in the same time. Because I fall in love too easy, and sometimes that's a problem.
Why do you need a man?
Why I need a man? Oh, I don't even know. I ask myself all the time. I wish I didn't need, but...
I'm not a needy person.
There we go again. You see, this is social engineering in your face. You see how I'm not a needy person. Yep, concerned about what other people might think. Social engineering. And what did we do again? Oh, we got to put that word need up there. We got to crush it and put some music to it. That's right. We got to drive that word need into your head.
I don't need a man. I don't know. I cannot tell like yes or not, because if I need, I believe that everything coming when we are ready for that.
Do you specifically need a man?
No.
You don't need him.
No.
Okay.
I see men as lower as me.
There you go, though. This is social engineering all the way. Okay, I want you to play this again. I want you to listen to her.
I see men as lower.
She sees men as lower than herself. She sees herself as a goddess. She sees herself somehow as a human, and men are like third class. They're not even human. Because she sees herself based on social engineering and the giants placing her on a pedestal her whole life and the lies that's been pushed. She actually believes she's above men.
As me.
Lower than you.
Yeah.
In what way?
That I was very suppressed.
Because she was very suppressed. She was. I know millions of men that would have loved to have been suppressed the way you were suppressed. You know, no lie. Because I guarantee you her suppression was pampered, spoiled, given her wants, pampered. So it's a way for her to get back to power. Power, okay, see right here, suppressed. So it's a way for me to get my power back. Power over others, back. No man has power over a woman, and no woman has power over men. This is all social engineering right in your face.
So it's a way for me to get my power back.
Right. Would you say that you need men, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. No, it would be awful if it were just women.
After my first heartbreak, I went through my feminist phase and I said, why does every woman have to get married and hatch eggs? I don't need a man in my life. I'm going to adopt 3 daughters, and I'm going to teach one how to sing, one how to dance, one how to act.
Right. She don't need a man in her life. She's just, kids are magically made because, you know, a woman's the one that has kids. You don't need men for women to have kids. Whoever told you that? Her name's Virgin Mary.
And then we will live happily ever after. But that phase just lasted for a few years, and then immediately I realized again that I do need men.
Then she realized she couldn't get pregnant. She realized finally that it took, a man and a woman to make a baby.
Why do you need a man?
Because I feel like it's a perfect complement to the expression that I chose in this life, which is being physically female. And, you know, I feel like...
Hold on. She was born a female. So it's a compliment to what? Let's play that again, okay?
Why do you need a man?
Because I feel like it's a perfect complement to the expression that I chose in this life.
So she chose the expression. So she automatically chose that she was going to be a female.
Which is being physically female. And
I didn't know we had a choice of what gender we were going to be born when we came out of Mama's womb. I didn't know we was given a choice on that.
You know, I feel like most women, they don't want to need a man. That's the truth. Because of the amount of pain that we've been through.
Oh, and men don't go through. Oh, that's right. She's correct. Men do not have emotions and feelings like women. That's right. They don't go through no pain or hurt. A man's durable. You can punch him, stick him with a knife, do whatever you want to them. They don't feel no pain. After all, they're not human.
And I'm a perfect person to be talking about this because...
Oh, and she's a perfect person to be talking about this.
I mean, men ruined my life. I'm going to be honest.
Because men ruined her life. It was men that ruined her life. She had no choice. I mean, it was all men that did it. Only men. That's right.
But, like, am I going to make it about men or am I going to make it about people? Because, to be honest with you, women have ruined my life as well.
That's about time she owned up to the truth. And how about she's probably responsible for some of what ruined her life herself as well.
And so it can't be just like a gender thing. And what I notice is that when we feel utterly powerless to something that's causing us pain, we want to not need that thing. I mean, who the hell wants to need something that's hurting it?
That's correct. See, she said some good stuff here. Okay, I'm not against her at all. I'm just pointing out what social engineering has done to people's mindsets, the perception that people are falling for.
But to say, I don't need this thing that quite frankly we do need, A, it's resistant in nature, B, it's self-denial, and it's avoidance.
Correct.
This is pure resistance. We can't pretend that this is in alignment. Everyone can feel that it's not.
What do you want a man to change? So, okay, what do you want a man to change for? I think we should have, what do we want? Men want women to change. Because, see, this is another social engineering topic right here. Because in a real, true relationship between a man and a woman, it's not up to a man to change, and it's not up to a woman to change. No, that's all social engineering. You like somebody for who they are, not who you want them to be.
One thing that you could change in a man, what would it be?
There's so many. Which one? Where to start? I'm trying to figure it out, the priority.
You're going to like this part. Do you remember her? Pay attention. You should already remember her. If not, I'll show you here momentarily.
They're too much sexually driven.
They're too much sexually driven. So she thinks that men are too much sexually driven. You're going to love this.
And impulsive.
I would change nothing.
To be more gentle and more sensitive.
Improve themselves in sex.
In what way?
In know how to make love, not like an animalistic thing.
Ah.
Very important. Yes.
Not learn from porn.
Not
Yes.
learn from porn.
So where should we learn
like,
from?
Okay, this is just the 2 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, and then we have to finish it. No.
Right.
Just be happy with one woman.
Just be happy with one man.
Not with so many women.
Not with so many men.
Because we're all the same at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's right. We're all the same at the end of the day. Oh, you notice how I turned her words? That's because it applies to both genders and not only one.
So that we're fundamentally different. So there's a little lack of compassion there. We go through this monthly cycle. They're like, I want to deal with it. Deal with it.
So of course they are confused.
Yeah.
That we're asking them to be kind, to be generous, to be emotional, but not too much.
Right. Kind, generous, emotional, but not too much. You're allowed to cry if your mom dies, if your child dies, if your dad dies. But don't you cry over something else. The double standards. Them double standards. Somehow you're not a human being, but she is.
To be providing, but give me my
To be providing, that's right.
my freedom.
That's right. To give her wants, plus give her freedom.
It's like so many different information that are given to men that they have to readjust. And right now, I feel for them because they don't know what the hell.
Yeah.
Where do you think men could do better?
If I had a single thing for men to pick to work on, it would be disconnection. Men disconnect from their own hearts. They act more from logic.
They act more from logic. We'll go into that later on.
Men can disconnect from other people. This is why we're able to declare war. Men can disconnect.
Right. It's because of men that we declare war. Yep, it's only because of men. If women run this world, there'll never be a war. Bullshit alert. Bullshit alert.
From their emotions, so they're really feeling crappy, but they can say, I'm fine, right? They can disconnect from women's experience and empathy, and so they can have one-night stands and be like,
hold on. They had a one-night stand with themselves. Because the last time I looked, there was a woman involved. They were having a one-night stand. And I know many women who cheat on their guys behind their backs. See, it's never been one-sided. Matter of fact, if you want to get real about it, I can concretely prove there's more women that cheat than there is men. Yeah, I can concretely prove that. It's not the other way around at all. It's reported upside down on his head.
Like what?
I'll prove that later on.
It's just mutual masturbation. So it's the disconnection thing which men need to work on, and that would be the single biggest thing that I would pick, honestly, if I had to pick something.
Yes, I need a man, and there is nothing wrong
There you go. Yes, I need a man. There's nothing wrong with
about
this.
I know.
About this.
And for what?
sex.
She needs a man for sex.
And
For
Yeah.
sex. Now remember her, right? From a little earlier.
For pleasure,
Sex and pleasure.
I see them like as great entertainment.
You remember her? We already watched her once.
Yeah, for my entertainment.
I wonder what would happen if a man would say this about women. I need them for sex and entertainment.
Remember this? You already saw it
The
once.
Me Too movement against sexual harassment.
Masculinity.
It's okay.
Yeah?
I understand it. Yeah, it's natural. It's not.
It's okay, it's natural. Now watch.
If there is one thing that you could change in a man, what would it be?
There's so many. Which one? Where to start? I'm trying to figure it out the priority.
There she is.
Too much sexually.
The men are too sexually driven. Huh. Men are too sexually driven. For sex, obviously, the same gal. For sex, obviously, pleasure, entertainment. She understands there's nothing wrong with it. Then she says this too. If you could change something about a man. So let's see, she needed a man for sex, obviously. One of the very first things she said, for sex, obviously. But when she was asked if she could change something about a man, what did she say? That men are too sexually driven. But she's the one that made the very first thing out of her mouth is that she needs a man for sex, obviously. Them were her words. But you see what they done on this video was they separated. They asked her two questions and then they cut and they cut. And they separated it and stuck it apart from each other in the video so that if you wasn't paying attention, you wouldn't catch on to it. Here she is. Watch. Right here. She needs a man for sex, obviously. Same gal. I see them as great entertainment. Yes, for my entertainment. Then he says it was turned around, and she goes, oh, it's okay, I understand, it's natural, it's not dirty. What do you want men to change? Then what does she do what do you want men to change? They're too sexually driven. So she's speaking out both sides of her mouth. Right there. But you wouldn't have caught that when you watched the actual video because they separated this from the other far enough along that the majority of you won't catch it.
They're too much sexually driven.
Here we are at the Utah State University Library for some interviewing.
That's right. We're going to interview with something I've told people for years now that none of you want to pay attention to. Or you all want to think that I'm full of shit. And you wonder why society's in the shape it is, the relationships are in the shape it is. See, this guy is about to make an ass out of himself, and all of these other guys are going to make ass out of men. You know who's going to be the ones of the brain in this video, in this part of this video? The women.
To ask people if they believe that men and women can be just friends.
See, a true relationship starts off with friendship. I have said this over and over and over and over for all the years I've been doing this. If you want a meaningful, real relationship with your opposite gender, you first have to be able to be friends.
So let's.
But they don't want you knowing this. See, he's going along with social engineering, programming. You're not to know that part, because if you used to know that part, relationships might actually start lasting. They don't want that. It's divide and conquer.
Go inside and see what we can find. Do you believe that men and women can be just friends?
Yes. Yeah, of course.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
I think it'd be hard to do.
I think it's hard to do because it's based all on my dick between my legs with no brains.
Yes. I mean, we're all men. I know. So, of course, we're going to have those feelings. And we
Like women don't have them feelings. Do you see where they got the man's mind at? Do you realize this is the other side of the pole, the social engineering I was telling you about? One side of the pole dedicated to women, the other side of the pole dedicated to men. And what have we been doing for years now? Bashing males, making men out to look completely dumb and stupid, and programming them to act that way. And here these guys are doing exactly what they've been programmed to do.
we can be content with just friendship, and we can be silent.
So then you can never have a real meaningful relationship or real love, because you was unable to be a friend, because it all came about that head between your legs with no brains, huh?
Regarding those feelings, but we're gonna have them.
Yes.
No.
There you go. You see, the programming's right in your face. And you know who's correct here? The women are, not the men. The social engineering has made guys out to be complete idiots. And these guys have fallen for the lie that they've been programmed to fall for. Social engineering in your face.
No.
Yes.
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 See, one side of the pole for the women, the other side of the pole for the men. And the ones who are right here are the women, not the men.
I don't believe so. No.
No, I don't believe so. No. I wonder why I can't find a real relationship. No.
I guess what I'm saying is no. Okay, good.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is I'm going to go along with the other guys because I got to fit in.
Backpack real quick and then run the car.
Okay, we'll walk with you. Do you believe men and women can be just friends?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, do you...
These women are putting the men to shame. Do you see the social engineering is in your face here? What have I told people over and over for months now? The programming, take a pole or an ink pen. One side of the ink pen or the pole is programming centered to women. The other side of the pole is program centered to men. And this is in your face right here. This is what you're hearing. Programming from both sides of the pole. And the sad thing is the women are the ones that are right. And it's not sad that they're right, because unfortunately these very same females are also using this as a rejection line. See, they're just as piled up as men are. And that is more of the social engineering.
Have any guy friends right now who you're just friends with?
Yeah. Oh yeah. All my best friends are guys. Dave.
Trevor.
Taylor Mulford.
Bobby. Yeah.
How long have you known Trevor?
2 years.
Of those guy friends, do you think any of them secretly like you? And be honest.
Probably. Yeah.
Do you think that guy is interested in you?
Yes. Okay, maybe you can only be just friends in high school, because most guys won't just be my friend.
Would Dave hook up with you if you gave him the chance?
Well, yeah.
Do you think...
They paid attention when she said maybe you could be just friends in high school, because most in high school, because after that most guys won't. That's because of the programming, social engineering. That's because they have over-sexualized you. They have broke your morals down. They have completely destroyed you. You don't even know what you're doing.
Trevor liked you.
Yeah.
And
I know he did. Yes.
would he hook up with you if you wanted to hook up?
Yeah.
So he likes you.
Mhm.
So what you're saying is men and women can't be friends.
No, we can be friends.
See how dumb he is? See, we can be friends. She's correct. See, he's so far off right here. He don't even know what he's doing. He's doing the interview and he don't even know what he's doing.
So he likes you.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is men and women can't be friends.
No, because he likes you and you like him. You become friends. You become best friends, and then it goes to more than just friends. But see, that's above his IQ. That's way above his IQ. So he flips it and says, "Oh, well, then we can't be friends."
No, we can be friends.
But you're just friends, but he likes you.
Yes.
So it's a one-sided friendship.
No, it's not a one-sided friendship. It's a guy that don't know what the fuck he's talking about. The guy that's doing the interview don't have the first clue of what he's talking about.
That was one instance.
If she wanted to hook up, would you hook up?
Oh, totally. Look at her.
Don't be sarcastic. I need the truth.
Seriously, yeah.
All right, there we go. All right, that's perfect. Okay, cut.
Because of physical attraction, it's not possible.
No, see, there you go. That's social engineering. Well, because of the physical, because of looks, because of my dick being hard when I see it. Excuse my language. Social engineering. Your minds are warped. You don't know what you're doing.
Okay. But you said I just want to be just friends.
Yeah.
Now, do you literally believe that he's not interested in you at all? Oh, yes! Yes! That's what I'm talking about! As we can see, after interviewing everyone in the library, it is
The
impossible.
social engineering has done its job. That's what you can see. As the social engineering has done its job.
Possible for men and women to be just friends.
It has divided and conquered, destroyed the genders, destroyed the family units, and caused a major epidemic of TFL.
And under no circumstances can it happen. That's a wrap.
That's dumbness, right there in your face.
Hi guys, so this is kind of my first...
I have respect for this young lady, this young gal, really means well here. I threw her in here because there's a couple of things I want to point out, but in no way am I bashing her whatsoever. Okay? She's young. She's naive to some things, but she is aware, and she's calling it as she sees it.
official video where people can see my face. I don't do a lot. I kind of just post weird videos. But there's a topic that kind of needs to be addressed because it's beginning to show up more and more on social media, and it's being addressed, but I think in a negative light. So the big thing going around right now is women's equality. You know, women deserve to be treated equal. And I'm not going to sit here, like some people, and list why it should be equal for women. It must be equal for women, because there's a flip side to this coin. And yes, would equal rights for women be awesome? For sure. Not against it. But the problem with this whole women's equality, with this whole feminism thing, is that women want to be treated equal. They want to be treated like men. But only for certain things. That's what I've seen. For certain things. They want to be treated the same as men for wages, for opportunity, for sick leave, you know, the maternity leave thing. But when it comes to picking a fight, that I've noticed a lot on YouTube and social media, you have these women who are starting to fight these, you know, young boys, young men. And when the men decide they've had enough of being, you know, your personal punching bag, and they decide to fight back, then that's when the equality and the feminism shifts, and they try and certain women try and play the victim. Okay? If you're gonna hit a man, if you are a woman and you are gonna strike a man, you better be prepared for him to strike you back. Because that's the main, center of equality, is that everything, every minute aspect is equal. Because you can't say, I want this, I want that, I deserve to be treated like a man, and then suddenly play the card of, you don't strike a woman like that. Now, let me stop there, because I know that there are people that are going to start lashing out at me in different ways, and I know exactly what they're going to say. If you are a man, and a woman strikes you for no reason, that is the only time that you can retaliate. But when I say retaliate, I don't mean beat the living snot out of them. I mean, you know, if you need to smack them across the face or land a blow to get it through your head.
See, this is the part that I say that she's aware of. That's how women are trying to play both cards. And she's calling them out for it. Okay? And she's telling you, you hit a man, you get hit back. Okay? And she's trying to be careful to defend herself and say, I don't mean beat the living crap out of her, put her in the hospital, which I agree with her. I agree with her on that. I think she really, you know, and then the only other thing I've seen that she made a mistake on was the maternity leave. I don't know a man that gets time off on maternity leave. I have yet to meet a man that ever got time off work for maternity leave. I thought I'd throw that in there.
And hold your ground, then okay. But that doesn't mean that gives you right to beat a woman for no reason.
And you don't have a right to hit a man for no reason. Okay? And don't think that a woman can't beat a man. That's another double standard, another lie, another propaganda, another complete BS statement.
Okay? If you are going to beat a woman just because, if you're going to beat a woman and claim, oh...
I don't know guys that just beat a woman just to beat the woman. I've never seen a guy just physically, just out of nowhere, come up just to beat a woman just because he can. If he did, he'd be considered a psychopath and he should be removed from the streets, okay? He don't belong in our society, okay? But the majority of the time, that's not the case. Normally, if a guy beats a woman, it's because the woman instigated it and started the abuse to begin with. Now, he might have gotten carried away, because I've seen it in fights with men and women both. Okay, where they get carried away out of anger and act out of their emotions, and that's for men and women both.
Well, she struck me. Okay, she strikes you. That doesn't mean you put her in the hospital or you put her near death. You know, you have those people who fight, you know, domestic violence, and they're like, oh, well, she hit me. Okay. Then you have two options. Be the bigger man and walk away, or strike her back once, maybe twice, to get the message across, and then walk away. But this is more directed towards women. You can't sit here and claim equality and shout feminism and scream it to the high heavens, and then turn around and play the victim card. You know, you talk a lot of talk, but when it comes down to the nitty-gritty of it, once you get struck, you suddenly play this damsel in distress. No, that's not okay. You are either in it for the equality on all fronts, or you're not in it at all. And that's the way it's seen, and that's what's not being addressed. Okay? Men are always seen as the bad people, but they can't sit there and be your personal boxing bag and expect it to not do anything about it. Men have a right to defend themselves just as much as women have a right to defend themselves. You cannot sit there and think that they won't retaliate.
Absolutely correct.
Okay? If you can, it's that saying, don't dish out what you can't take. If you can throw a punch at a man, but you cannot take the punch that comes back in return, that's your problem. Okay? This is my opinion on it. This is my opinion as an independent person who, I'm not a feminist. I'm not some crazy person who's shouting to the sky, standing in the streets, all that stuff. But I'm making a point, and you can't seriously sit here. Women, men, whoever, you cannot seriously sit here, see this, and say, well, they're men, it's their job. It's not their job. It's a man's job to provide.
No, it's not a man's job to provide. This is more social engineering. This is not the caveman days. I'm sorry, hundreds and hundreds of years ago was the caveman days. This is a long ways from the caveman days. This is the days where men and women are both in the job place. Both in the job place, and there's actually more women out earning men in America than there is men out earning women. So no, it is not a man's job to provide. This came straight from social engineering and gender roles, that the man is the ATM machine. It's his job to provide. No, it's not.
It's a man's job to protect his family.
Yes, it can be the man's job to protect his family. Yes, I agree. But not provide.
It's a man's job to protect his children.
Yes, and to protect and to provide for his children, yes. But it's also her job to protect and provide for her children, not just the man's.
But it's not a man's job to be your personal boxing bag. Just think about that. You know, you want equality, but are you willing to accept it on every front, or just the fronts that benefit you? Leave your comments below.
Very well said. See, what she's talking about is what I've been talking about for a long time. Equality. But they don't want equality. We all know that. Feminist women don't want equality. They want superiority. They want to be, well, gods. They don't want to be equal. They want to be above. Above. That's right. They don't want equal. What I speak about is equal straight across the board. Laws, rights, and everything between the genders. Equal straight across the board. As we're all human beings.
But, you know, everyone has their opinions. This is just mine. I'll hope to post something later. Bye, guys.
Mass Tinder trap, turning the dating app on its head. Amy, you spoke exclusively to the pair behind it to answer questions that we all...
We're going to show how well men use logic now, ain't we? Remember when the gal brought about men using logic earlier in this video? Okay? Let's look how well men use logic. And let's also show the real truth about the epidemic of men who can't get a female in their life.
I wonder, what was it all really about?
Yeah, there were a lot of questions as to why. So they say, this popular dating app to secretly lure hundreds of men to a park right here in New York, Union Square. The men thought they were going on a date, one-on-one. They didn't realize the meetup was masterminded by a woman and a man who were just trying to make a point about the state of dating today.
As you may or may not know, my name is Natasha, and I have everyone here today to be on a date with me.
It's the dating game that took social media by storm, known as the Tinder trap.
Right, the Chelsea Clinton trap. Oh, I bet you didn't know that, did ya? Most of you don't know that Chelsea Clinton's right up at the top of the people running Tinder. You know, Bill Clinton's daughter. You know, Hillary Clinton's daughter, Chelsea Clinton. You know, government involvement in the dating scene that everybody said, no, the government's not involved in the dating scene. Do you remember that? Yeah.
Swipe right, swipe left.
Using the popular dating app, one woman persuaded hundreds of men to show up at New York's Union Square Sunday to meet up with her.
Wasn't hard at all for one woman to do that. When there's millions and millions of men that can't get one woman in their damn life, of course hundreds of men would show up for one woman.
But the men, who were quickly joined by a crowd of curious onlookers, didn't know they were all there for the same date.
Hi, everyone.
Now the woman, Natasha Aponte, and the man behind the stunt, Rob Bliss, are speaking out, saying the stunt wasn't performed to promote any product or company.
Okay, but see, here's the real kick in the ass. If men, you know, the TFL is in denial, you know, the epidemic of millions and millions of men across the world who can't even get a one woman in their life. If that was so fraudulent like these dumbtards keep trying to say it is, that there's no such thing as TFL, okay? If it was so fraudulent, not only would there be no such thing as PUA, but what happened here could have never happened. That's correct. What's happened here could have never happened in a million years of men were able to just get women in their life like women can men.
But to conduct a social experiment.
The purpose of making this video was to...
The purpose was to identify and make sure that the social engineering that led to TFL was successful. And this social experiment proved that it was 100% successful.
simply take the Tinder experience and bring it into the real world.
This video was created by Bliss's production company, the result of 2 years of planning, creating a live version of Tinder where men compete for the attention of one woman, Aponte, subjecting them to tests of strength.
So here's your logic for you. Men use logic, huh? I hate to say this, but I'm going to call it as it is. Bullshit. In today's society, men do not use logic. There is no logic in this at all.
Go! 1, 2, 3, 4!
And endurance, racing each other across the park. A sea of would-be suitors trying to meet her long list of demands.
There you are. A sea of TFLers. That's right. A sea of men who couldn't get one woman in their life. All competing. That's right. And trying to meet that high expectations list. All placing her up on a pedestal. All boosting her ego, corrupting her. So that they can be treated lower than a piece of dirt on the ground. That's right. So that they can be dumped on and used and stepped on and walked on and abused. That's right. And they all showed up to compete against each other. Even if they didn't know they were all showing for one woman, the minute they realized this one woman lowered them all there. But you know, the real kick in the butt here, when they can set something like this up and have hundreds of guys show up for a date with one female and travel to do so, it shows you how real TFL is, doesn't it? That's right, because if these guys were able to get a female in their life, you wouldn't have been able to get hundreds of guys together like this and to travel. And then to compete with each other for a privilege to be stepped and walked on by this female. It's disgusting. It's sick. It's social engineering in your face.